Foreign Council coordinates the community's positions on key regional and international issues.
Antigua and Barbuda diplomat says the United States benefits more from trade with the Caribbean.
And CARICOM caution to sustain resilience agenda as scientists records highest level of warming in the planet. Welcome to the CARICOM 5 in 5, a roundup of the key regional developments during the week ending Friday, 17th May 2019. I am Tusankin English Francis.
And I'm Michelle Nurse of the CARICOM Secretariat's Communications Unit. Welcome to the program.
This week, foreign ministers discussed key regional, hemispheric, and international issues during the 22nd meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, COFCOR, in Grenada, the Spice Island of the Caribbean. They agreed that CARICOM will intensify efforts to engage all parties involved in the Venezuelan political crisis. COFCOR restated the principles of non-interference and non-intervention in the affairs of states.
Foreign ministers reviewed developments in the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy. They noted with regret Venezuela's unwillingness to participate in a written procedure in response to Guyana's move to the ICJ. The ministers reiterated CARICOM's unwavering support for the territorial integrity of Guyana. And foreign ministers congratulated Belize on the successful holding of its May 8th referendum. COFCOR says the referendum opens the way to definitively resolve the Belize-Guatemala dispute at the International Court of Justice.
The ministers recorded their concerns about the strengthening of the United States embargo against Cuba. CARICOM Secretary General Ambassador Erwin LaRocque on Monday urged the United States to lift what he described as the unwarranted sanctions against Cuba.
Cuba has been a long-standing supportive partner, particularly in building the region's human capital in fields such as public health and sport. Our community reiterates its call for the lifting of the unwarranted economic embargo and sanctions on Cuba, which was strengthened recently.
The COFCOR also discussed climate change issues. They applauded the significant contribution of the Alliance of Small Island States to international climate change negotiations. Belize is the current chair of the alliance, while Antigua and Barbuda is the incoming chair. Foreign ministers pledged support to both countries. They encouraged CARICOM member states to ensure the highest level of participation in the UN Climate Change Summit later this year. These discussions on climate change are timely and critical, especially now that scientists in the United States of America have detected the highest levels of carbon dioxide in Earth's atmosphere. This warning coincides with the Bahamas foreign minister urging the community to sustain its resilience agenda.
The focus on resilience comes at a time when we are preparing for the 2019 hurricane season, while many of our neighbors are still in recovery mode and the rebuilding phase. It is an unassailable truth that global warming and climate change represent an existential threat to our way of life. As such, resilience for us includes not only building stronger, and better, and faster, but building resilience is imperative to our very survival as a people. Resilience, therefore, must permeate every aspect of our existence.
Ministers welcomed progress to secure the community's future trade relations with the United Kingdom in light of its impending departure from the European Union. Chair of COFCOR, Grenada's Foreign Minister, the Honorable Peter David, stressed the importance of CARICOM-UK trade relations.
Statistics indicate that a significant percentage, approximately 21 to 23% of Caribbean goods exported to the EU is destined for the United Kingdom. Exports to the EU in 2015 has been put at approximately US $3.1 billion worth of goods, of which $718 million went to the United Kingdom. It is particularly difficult to predict trading arrangements with the UK following Brexit, as there is no insight as to whether a deal would be struck or whether there would be an impasse and no deal. Of principal concern is access to the European Development Fund, the EDF, which has funded many cooperation development programs in the areas of economic, human, and social development, and which has been used by the United Kingdom to champion the interests of CARICOM member states. Likewise, of paramount importance is the provision of comparable assistance post-Brexit and the assessment of continued classification of our member states as high and middle-income countries that deprive many Caribbean countries from qualifying for development assistance.
CARICOM foreign ministers agreed on the need for the community to strategically consider its long-term engagement with the United States. They saw the need for increasing contacts with representatives of both houses of representatives and the U.S. Congress.
The advocacy continues for the U.S. to retain duty-free access of regional products to its market beyond the end of this year. Antigua and Barbuda's ambassador to the United States, Sir Ronald Saunders, added his voice to the call for the U.S. to extend the Caribbean Basin Trade Partnership Act and the World Trade Organization's waiver beyond December expiry date. This would allow CARICOM countries to have duty-free access to the U.S. market. Sir Ronald testified before the United States International Trade Commission, which is looking into the partnership's impact on the United States. Sir Ronald says that the U.S. has benefited more from the trade arrangement than the 17 beneficiary Caribbean countries. In 2018 alone, he says the U.S. enjoyed a $12 billion trade surplus. He told the Commission that CARICOM countries would face serious financial challenges if they were to lose the preferential access to the U.S. market.
CARICOM ministers of health and regional health officials will represent the community at the 72nd session of the World Health Assembly from 20th to 28th May in Geneva, Switzerland. The agenda is packed with key issues, including governance of the World Organization, universal health coverage, health, environment, and climate change. Program Manager for Health Sector Development with the CARICOM Secretariat, Dr. Rudolph Cummins, is attending the assembly. He spoke with the communications unit about the importance of CARICOM's presence.
This is the highest forum of health policy making and to some extent decision making on a collective basis as it relates to global health. CARICOM represents one of the WHO sub-regions. We belong to the region of the Americas. The Assembly itself does this on an annualized basis, reviews, discusses, and forms policy.
Dr. Cummins is also lauding PAHO Director's recent presentation of the Caribbean Action Plan on Climate Change and Health to Grenada's Health Minister.
Director of PAHO, Dr. Carissa Etienne, presented the action plan in view Fort St. Lucia on Thursday, 2nd May 2019, to the Minister of Health of Grenada, the Honorable Nicholas Steele. Grenada's involvement is significant as host of the 3rd Global Forum on Climate Change and Health in October 2018, which advanced discussions on the determinants of health and the benefits CARICOM member states can derive from this action plan to harden their public health sector against natural disasters. Dr. Rudolph Cummins, Program Manager for Health Sector Development, explains its importance.
The launch of the Action Plan for Health and Climate Change by the Director of PAHO and in the presence of CARICOM ministers of Grenada and St. Lucia is very welcome to our region. Our region, a vulnerable one, of small states, have suffered our region has suffered tremendously from the ravages of hurricanes and is beginning to suffer from the effects of sea level rise and to some extent the cyclical El Nino, La Nina events which occur. In particular, this strategy one will hope will strengthen the resolve of member states to protect their health facilities, which have suffered tremendously during hurricane.
And the region is mourning the passing of CARICOM Triennial Awardee Miss Magda Pollard. Miss Pollard, a national of Guyana, was the first Women's Affairs Officer at the CARICOM Secretariat. She was laid to rest on Thursday.
In 1975, at an international conference in Mexico, the United Nations designated 1976 to 1985 the Decade of Women against tripartite themes of equality, development, and peace. In 1980, UNICEF decided to investigate how CARICOM governments could proceed with this program for the development and welfare of women, and provided the CARICOM Secretariat with funding for a Women's Affairs Desk at the Secretariat. Later that year, Magda took up an appointment as Women's Affairs Officers with the CARICOM Secretariat. Magda embraced this new role with her usual unswerving energy, high standards, and keen insights, as well as a highly developed perception of women's problems and her strong opinions on possible solutions. A significant portion of her responsibilities were advancing model legislation within the community aimed at eradicating domestic violence and sexual offences against women and children, as well as revising archaic matrimonial property laws. Her dear friend Desiree Patricia Bernard was instrumental in improving Guyana with the Married Persons Property Amendment Act of 1990, which now provided for women who were in common law unions to be awarded a share of matrimonial property acquired during the union upon its dissolution. Magda's Women's Desk in the Secretariat provided enthusiastic supports for efforts such as these.
You are now up to date with the major developments in the community. For more details of these and other stories, visit the CARICOM News blog at today.caricom.org.
Visit the CARICOM website, www.caricom.org.
Like our Facebook page.
Follow us on Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
See you next time.